Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is David. Well, it's after the holiday season. I hope you had a good one. And now that you've had plenty of meals with family, friends, loved ones, non so loved ones, you've got pictures and you need something to do with those pictures. So today, we're going to make some picture frames. I've got plenty of samples here. We have the paper towel type. And those would look good if you taken some of that marble colored contact paper from the Dollar Tree and covered it. We have bubble wrap on silver painted cardboard or chipboard oatmeal box. And these have weights to make them stand up because they're quite light. If you have a ceiling fan, this one is there's slits cut in the sides and the pictures just slid into it. Well, I've knocked my ball down in there, but oh well. This one's clay. And it's completely clay. And your picture just slides down in a little envelope I made in the back. Yeah. As you can see, I got a new camera, so hopefully you can see full hands in the screen at all times. This is another bubble wrap cardboard one. And you see I built a base and weighted it down so that it wouldn't blow over. I had made the first one and the wind blew it down because, well, I didn't think about them being lightweight. This is a 9-patch, and I built a frame and sewed it to the frame with a little thread. And you see a little nugget there in the middle. And I used popsicle sticks to make a slide, a little edge to slide her into. Alright, then we have Little Rascal in this one. This one looks quilted, doesn't it? But it's not. This is the one we're going to make today. This one and this one. These two we're going to make today. And you see I've weighted the back down with rocks. And then we have Charlie. And he is in the popsicle stick one. And then I was working on this one, but I ran out of pictures to put in. But it's another one. It's made just like the other quilted one. Also, if you want to add glass, they don't need glass. Plastic is your friend. These juice bottles are thick. A little heat from a blow dryer. This one came off of, I think, some cookies or something. That's paint, not food. So I was using it for a paint tray. But you can cut it out and put it in front of the picture and it looks just like glass. You can't tell the difference. Don't waste your money. Look through your trash. See what you got. Here we're pulling out our bubble wrap. I cut down a oatmeal box. I took it outside and spray painted it silver on the cardboard side, the non-shiny side. I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches on these long sides, 1 inch on the short side. Whatever you think looks good. An oval, whatever you've got. Cut it out with an X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut a couple strips in the bubble wrap so that it'll wrap around. Do not put hot glue on the face of the cardboard where it's silver because you can see it through the bubble wrap. I did that on the other one, and if you look real carefully, you can see the strips of glue through the bubble wrap. And that Fiskars rotary cutter there, I use it on paper or plastic because it ain't worth a flip. It don't stay. You can't put pressure on it. It wants to clip back down. And I just don't think it's a real Fiskars. I got it from Amazon. I think it's a knockoff. You can glue this down and just trim those points off. To me, it looks like glass or ice after it's wrapped around. I'm going to glue on a little bling bling. I'm going to make this landscape, and whatever you do on the left, do on the right so it stays balanced. I'm putting a half piece there and then a full piece on top to make a ledge or a track to slide that cardboard down in. You'll see in a second. I'm going to cut it down and slide it in and show you how it fits. If you're worried about the photo bowing backwards and falling out, you can glue a popsicle stick straight across the middle and it'll hold it in just fine. I'm going to put legs on these. As I mentioned before, glue you some weights on there, a couple rocks or something a little heavy because these are light. I turned the ceiling fan on and blew one right off the shelf, and I thought, well, I need to fix that because that's too light. On the second one, just cut a shape in the middle. Put the batting on. We're going to cut the batting, glue it back. And then I didn't realize Thomas the Train's cloth was facing all different directions, so I get a little confused. I keep losing my pencil line. You see, I got the real Fiskars out. The dark gray ones, the real ones for the cloth. So now for this, just make sure that those points go all the way to the corners. And then once you make sure that it goes all the way to the corner, you're going to, as you glue it down, you're going to give it a tiny tug. And you watch the middle outside and you'll see how it pulls it in just a touch. You don't want to pull it hard. You just want to give it a little tug and for it to bend in just a touch. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you that quilted look because it's going to look like it's tufted and quilted. It's not going to be flat. Each time we do it, we're going to give it a little tiny tug. You see how it slides in just a touch there in the center. Make sure it gets all the way to the meets in the corner down there so none of the batten can be seen. Tiny tug. Now, if you're a person who don't like quilted, tufted stuff and you want it flat and straight, have at it. You can just leave the batten off. You don't have to have it. Just the plain cloth and cardboard would work. But that cardboard has lines in it, so with the batting, you don't see those lines, and without it, you would. It's up to you, though. It's your creation. And you could take this even further. I'm using hot glue in the video, but if I was making this for myself to go on my shelves, I would more than likely use another kind of glue and use hot glue as a temporary hold. I don't trust hot glue 100%. And you see how it's kind of quilted looking and how it kind of gives little folds and tucks, gives it some dimension. Now I'm going to tell you, for the corners, don't do what I did. Take your scissors and go across and cut from one side to the other across that corner so that it almost meets it. You want to cover up that cardboard, but you don't want to do what I did because you see what I'll have to go through here with all this trimming. And I knew to do that before I did it, so don't ask me why I didn't do it. And I'll work with the corners till I get them kind of sharp. I do like the outside corners sharp. And honestly, that cardboard was part of some packaging on some clay, and it was kind of thick. You could probably sew through it if you really wanted to, and you could sew this cloth down to it with no problem. And don't think I wouldn't run it through the sewing machine because I would if I felt like it. So if you don't mind turning up your sewing machine, try it. I do have an old sewing machine that I don't really use. It was real cheap, so it's basically plastic. So I could have done it without tearing up with this sewing machine. And same with the other picture frame. We're gonna build our tracks. Small piece, larger piece on top. Basically, what you're making is a T, a short, very short T, and then two down the sides. Now, for my frame on this one, I'm going to take two popsicle sticks and I'm going to tape them. I'm going to stand them up and see how far back I want that frame to tilt. And then I'm going to tape those popsicle sticks in place. And then I'm going to cut two braces out of that curved stick because I bought those popsicle sticks from the Dollar Tree and I've never really had a problem with them being curved. so much as this pack. This pack has been nothing but curved side to side and long length to length. I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna cut the round tips off. Then I'm gonna cut it in half. And you're gonna see me actually get a ruler out and measure something for a change. That's the Tim Holtz ruler with the 0 in the middle. Then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna cut 2 slants in those braces. But you only need to cut 1 slant, and the other one you're gonna need to it's not quite a slant like the wood half is. I don't know how to explain it, but I had to cut the slant out of it just almost all the way before it fitted right. And if you wanted to cover up the back of the picture frame so it looks good, you could do it with a big piece of cardboard. I'm not doing all that. Frankly, if somebody's coming in your house and looking at the back of your picture frames, you need to escort them to the door or ask for some rent money, you know. Now I'm going to tape the tops of these until I get the braces put on. But watch me grab the glue gun. I'm sure I'm fixing to do it because if I remember right, I did. Yep. But thankfully, it wasn't hot enough to give me no glue. So, and in a minute, I'll remember that I was going to tape the tops first. Then I'm going to get out 2 pieces of tape. And then I'm going to make a lose one. Just keep an eye out. Trust me. And watch this. I'll stick it to the table and lose it. This is all day, every day. I lose stuff constantly. See? All right, here's where I'm going to cut those slants. And those slants would have worked if I was making a swing set with an A-frame. But the picture frame's not an A-frame because picture frame part's kind of straight up and down with only a slight tilt. So I cut it out after I took the scissors and actually cut it out, cut that curve out or that slant out of one side. And I don't know about y'all, but I've been so cold lately. My arthritis is hurting, and I can hardly get those things to squeeze. And they're sharp. Now for these, I'm going to make a puddle of hot glue on that cloth. Yep, see, two slanted. Now it's fixed. Make a pretty good sized puddle of hot glue. Put that stick in the hot glue and let it sit for a second to get hard. It doesn't have to be hard, but you know, long enough to kind of stand up. A little bit on that one to get it to stick. And there's one side. And we're going to do the same thing for the other one. And make sure it's straight, and then peel the tape off those and glue those down. The reason I did it that way was because I put sticks on one and I measured them and put them in the right place, and it was cockeyed. One top corner was laying back looking at me like it was getting ready to fall over backwards, and the other one was standing up straight. Now to give it some weight, I'm going to pull out some rocks. Well, I'm going to pull out these rocks, and then I'm going to change my mind because I decided I didn't want to waste my good, clear wreath making rocks on no back of no picture frame. Now I'm going to go get the actual rocks. I've got an actual jug of them. I bought rocks. Can y'all believe that? I bought rocks. I've got a driveway full of rocks. And after I got them, I realized I had the same rocks in the driveway. And I thought, well, why did I even buy them? And I'm just going to squirt some hot glue in a puddle and press it down into it. Let it grab what it can. And while that one's cooling, I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm going to do it one more time right over the top of the rocks I've already got on it. And that'll give me a good mini. And it's not going to be super heavy, but it's got enough weight to hold it. A breeze won't just blow it off now. So, I mean, sure, a strong enough one will, but actually, it would probably blow down a real picture frame if it was strong enough. Thank you for watching. I hope this inspires you to make a picture frame for yourself. Have a good night.